my preaching moo-moo, I got my talking stick, I am ready to go. Ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, our theme of the evening is authentic living. So like most things in life, when I don't know what it is, I turn to Google. So I literally typed in, what is authentic living? And I perused a few journals and blogs that were like, authentic living is living as the real you. Then I started thinking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers and I got real scared. So authentic living is you living the real you, which is not the fake you, but how do I know if I'm living the real you or the fake you or somewhere half in between, or like, how do you know this? But authentic living is the buzzword phrase of the year. Just like a few years ago it was empower. Everything was empower. Empower your life. Empower your destiny. Empower your empowering of your empowerment. So now it's living authentically. And in my research, I came also across a quote which has informed my entire speech, and it's from Carl Jung. And it says, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Preach that. Preach that. Thank you, Carl. Now, there's a lot of things in this quote that I like. One is acknowledgement that authentic living is a lifelong journey. Just like when we discussed coming out a few weeks ago, it ain't like all of a sudden you're like, I'm authentic living. And that's it. I'm done. I'm spiritually enlightened. Thank y'all so much for coming. I am perfect. Y'all can look at me as a model to how y'all live your own authentic lives. Living authentically means that you are evolving, continually changing depending on the circumstances or where you are at in your life. And the way to do that is to go here, within self. That scary place that we spend so much time trying to stay out of. We are in disembodied society, and I'm going to tell you how it's hurting us right now. We spend so much of our time outside of self, focusing on distractions that take us away from how we are truly feeling, and we've actually rearranged the script so that we spend more time thinking about how other people are feeling and less focused on how we are feeling. We have even taken the word self and we have vilified it, so that if you think of self, you are selfish and therefore inconsiderate, rude, and generally an awful person of life. And nobody wants to be selfish. Everyone wants to be selfless. So we focus more on other people than ourselves. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with focusing on other people. As agents of love, we should be thinking of others, but as part of that, you should be thinking of yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because we spend so much of our time disembodied, we are a sick nation. We are sick with worry. We are paralyzed with fear. And we are crippled with self-doubt. So we're gonna go through a little action plan, because that's always good, you know? I always go to like workshops and talks and seminars, and I always like an action plan. It's like something I can take home and do in my own time in order to better myself. So, like that?
I don't know why. It's just you being your authentic self makes me laugh.
Thank you. So, step one of our action plan is to go within self. Now, I've said this before, I'm a yoga teacher, and I can tell you the hardest thing for people to do, it's not the crazy flying praying mantis through a woodland field pose. It is sitting quietly with self and breathing. That is the hardest pose. When I ask my students to sit quietly, close their eyes, go within and breathe, their eyes are wide open. Like, they are staring at me like I am gonna like slap them upside the head the second they close their eyes. They get really nervous. They start to fidget. They get uncomfortable. I can see it. I read them. They're like, okay, yeah, breath, namaste. Yeah, I just want to flow. Can I just flow now? Like, I came here here to yoga to flow, okay? And I show them flow, and then they're like, no, that's okay, I want to sit quietly. That's fine. Why is that so scary? Why is that so difficult? Why is it so hard for us to be with ourselves? Because if we're going to live authentically, if we are going to figure out what our core values are so they can inform our actions, you must go within self. But we don't. Why? Because we're scared. We are scared of what we are going to find in the cobwebs and the packed boxes of the inner recesses of our psyche and our minds, okay? So we don't want to do it. We push it under the rug. We save it for another time. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm just really busy right now. That's always my favorite thing to say for everything. It's just a really busy time right now. Like, I just need to make it through our town this year, the next 5 years. And then I will have time to do all the, when I retire. Which I'm an artist, I'm never gonna retire. But that's scary, and I understand that. However, I want us to think about something. You can close your eyes if you want, but just go within self. Tune into your breath. See what and how you are feeling right now. And we're going to do a little exercise because, again, I'm giving you an action plan. I could just tell you, go live authentically. Go forth, spread the gospel. But I want to give you some tools. So, if you believe that you have a inner core, a higher self, your spirit, your soul, stardust of cosmic divinity, if that exists within you, then it exists in all of us. So the first step in bringing about self-awareness, the key to authentic living is, can you accept your divinity? Seems simple enough. You are divine. Done! You are God. And that is very difficult to accept because we're human and we're here. One of my teachers always used to say, we are not human beings on a spiritual path. We are spiritual beings on a human path. So just like the barcode example that just hit, what's that brilliant talk? I love you. I love you. We are one, but we are not the same, ladies and gentlemen. That spark of cosmic divinity that exists within you exists in all of us, and is that which binds us together. But we are all not the same. You are all unique expressions of that cosmic divinity, the 50 shades of divinity. And that is beautiful and worth celebrating. So, step one, accept your divinity. You can do it now or in the privacy of your own abode, but accept your divinity. Part two, because there is always a light and a dark, there is always a balance in order to bring about a unified whole. So I ask of you, you can accept your divinity, but can you stand in front of your imperfections? Can you accept your humanity and all of its flaws? Can you? And that's very, very hard for us to do. We spend so much of our time thinking about the ways in which we would like to better ourselves, in which our lives could be better. Well, if only this came about, if this happened, or once this happens, then this thing will happen. And we put so many stipulations and prefaces before we actually take action that we are literally stuck in the mud, like Alabama in the middle of July, and you can't go anywhere. So, can you accept your divinity, and then can you accept your humanity and bring those beautiful forces together to create the harmonious, unified whole that is the unique expression of you? Ain't nobody else in the history of history, nor in the future of all futures, is going to be you. So celebrate it then! Don't think about all of your imperfections and your shortfalls and your flaws and how you are perfect and whole exactly as you are right now in this moment. Okay? Thank you. So, divinity, humanity. Can you practice something that I've been exploring in my yoga class called radical self-acceptance? We are the land of Burning Man. And so therefore, this idea very much fits in line with what we here in Nevada like to practice. Radical self-acceptance. Can you at any given moment in your life accept who and what you are? Is it in line with your core values and your core actions? Unfortunately, for most of us, we rely too heavily on what others think of us. We ask others to reflect and pass judgment upon who we are. And the busiest example that I can give y'all, I am a flaming homosexual. I have lots of girlfriends. Okay, I do. Let me know if this resonates with you, Mark. I spend a lot of time dressing my girlfriends. Okay, I spend a lot of time praising, describing, affirming all of my girlfriend's aesthetic life choices. Every time one of my girlfriends takes even a fraction of a quarter inch off of her hair, it is like the sun had stopped and everyone must pay attention and give feedback. And no matter what feedback I give, good, bad, generally indifferent, it does not matter. If I give good feedback, it does not assuage their concerns about how they look. It does not make them feel better. It makes them question it even more. If I tell them that their hairdo look like crap, then all of a sudden I am a bad person for expressing my truth and that they didn't really want to hear my opinion in the first place. And if I am generally neutral about it because there are things that are happening in the world right now, including a lion that got shot, and I do not care about your hairstyle, then I am disengaged. But y'all, does it matter what I think about your hair? Nope. I ain't gotta wear it. I don't gotta be photographed in it. As you can see, I care so much about my hair and what it looks like at any given time. Why do we go outside of self seeking answers that are already within self? If we were a little less distracted and a little less disembodied and were able to sit still and breathe, you could answer all your questions. Your friends and lovers and family would love you infinitely more because you can answer your own questions. Trust your intuition. Trust that voice that is inside you that is telling you whether or not your hair looks like crap or not. Pay attention to the psychic red flags. Believe me, the universe will give them to you and you'll get the heebie-jeebies and you'll be like, hey, something about this ain't right. It's like sometimes when I walk into like an abandoned warehouse or like a scurry house and I'm like, bye, Felicia. I ain't going out like that. I know what's in there. But we don't trust ourselves. We fear ourselves. We are self-conscious of ourselves and we put trust and faith in others to tell us how to govern our lives, what to believe, and how to feel. So, go within self, find your authentic true core center and listen to it. Because that is you telling you what to do. So do it. And now the last thing that I want to mention before I turn over to this fabulous Alchemist band is the fourth step in our processes. Okay? Now you've gone within. You've done a little digging, a little searching, a little exploring, and you have found your true, authentic self. The journey ain't over, my friends. Now, you have to find the courage to live it. Every single day, you have been given this gift of divine, cosmic brilliance. Do not shun the gifts that have been given to you that are your divine birthright. Instead, harness them, hone them, celebrate them, share them with the world, and live your authentic life. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.